How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is currently running its games under $20 sale. There's some good deals on the Halloween sale as well. Want to highlight the super cheap offerings under $5, and there's a ton of them, so let's just get right into it, and let's get through this very quickly. First things first, Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience. For whatever reason, if you don't have MGS5, this deal is just ridiculous. Like, you should buy it ASAP, 80% off for $4. This gets you Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5, and a bunch of DLC. Bear in mind that Metal Gear Solid 5, the base game, is on sale for $4 literally right now, so please don't make the mistake of buying the base game. Get the definitive experience. You're gonna get a ton more content, same price. Don't know why that is. MGS5 is a tremendous action-adventure stealth title. It kind of got a bad rap because of everything that happened with development, and, you know, that's in the rear-view mirror. If you assess the game for what it is, it's a high-quality action-adventure stealth title. I think in the case of Metal Gear, taking the franchise open world actually complemented the overall gameplay. It didn't lose that core Metal Gear feel to it, at least not in my opinion, and I thought it worked out really well. I think narratively, it's still a strong game. It's a little different because it doesn't have a ton of long cutscenes. A lot of the story is told through cassette tapes. But I found the game incredibly engrossing. $4 I think is a great price, a lot of content. Definitely check that out. Next up, we have Dishonored, the Definitive Edition, 75% off for $4.99. I love Dishonored. This is a game that I got right when it came out back in December of 2012, and it's a really, really good action stealth title. You can play it more action heavy, you can go the more silent, stealthy approach, and that's probably what I would recommend. Dishonored comes across way more rewarding to me in that way, but that makes the game a little bit more playable because you can tackle the game in so many different ways. The art style, while this isn't like a super technically impressive game, it has held up really well because it employed this pretty unique visual style. You know, the ambiance was really good, narratively pretty strong game as well. $5 for the base game as well as the DLC that comes with Dishonored. I would definitely say goodbye here. Check it out. $4.99 is a great price, and sometimes you see Dishonored go on sale and it'll be like $7.99 or even $9.99, which is fine. It's still definitely worth that price, but at $4.99, that is a banger deal. Definitely recommend it. Alright, next up, speaking of open world action titles, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition, 75% off for $4.99. Another excellent deal here. This is an action game that has incredibly satisfying combat, a good bit of content to it, and a pretty engaging narrative. Like, I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy or anything like that. Like, I literally have never watched any of the movies. I don't care for Rings of Power, whatever the hell it is. But this is a quality action title, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And narratively pretty strong, some very satisfying gameplay, and overall pretty good. 75% off for $4.99 for the Game of the Year Edition with the additional content. Seems like a good pickup to me. Next up, we got Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. You guys know me. I love me my Tomb Raider. Since Tomb Raider 2013, I think these games have been tremendous, and I'm happy that Crystal Dynamics is working on another title. If you're trying to get into the games, Tomb Raider 2013 is where you start. The game isn't that lengthy. You can probably complete it in 8 to 11 hours around that time. There are some optional tombs and things like that. Multiplayer is memes. You're not going to get into it, and unfortunately that means you can't get the Platinum Trophy, but overall, still a quality game for $3, and I would strongly recommend it. Great title here. Check it out at $2.99. Alright, next up, we got Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, a game that, you know, I talk pretty well about. Obviously, I don't think it's quite as good as Deus Ex Human Revolution, and unfortunately, if you only have a PlayStation, Human Revolution isn't a game you can really play. Given it doesn't have a remastered version, it's only on PlayStation 3, so it's one of those games that's kind of got lost in the ether. I imagine it will get a remaster at some point, given that this studio's on their own now, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the franchise in the future, but Deus Ex: Mankind Divided was pretty good. I think narratively it's not as strong as Human Revolution, but overall, after you get past that, the gameplay is a big step up from Human Revolution. A lot of variety in how you tackle the game, and there's still definitely some strong story moments. One of the better main characters in all of gaming, to be perfectly honest, as well. $4.49 for Mankind Divided I think is quite good. Go back and check it out. Has some technical issues as well, but overall, a pretty solid game. Next up, 75% off for Unravel at $4.99. Very artistic, very colorful platformer that does have some gameplay wonkiness to it, but overall, it's a solid game and great presentation style. A very emotional game as well. I mean, you can go back to the initial reveal of this game at E3, and you kind of got that vibe that this was going to be an emotional project, and you can kind of see that shine through with Unravel. The game is included with EA Play as well, so if you would want to play it that way, that is an option as well, but for $5, I think that's a pretty good pickup. Next up, we got Dragon's Crown Pro, 80% off for $3.99. I'm always talking up Vanillaware these days, one of my favorite studios in all of gaming. They have just created some fantastic games, and obviously, one of the drawing components to them is the art style. Dragon's Crown Pro has the traditional and the, you know, kind of fundamental Vanillaware art style, that drawing factor, and it looks fantastic from a visual standpoint. The gameplay, action beat-em-up style gameplay, it's a pretty good action RPG. Narratively, it didn't really grip me. Definitely didn't grip me like 13 Sentinels gripped me, but nonetheless, $4 for it is a good pickup, and I would definitely give it a shout. Next up, we got Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. This is 90% off for $4.49. Great buy here. This is definitely a game that you tuck away the kids, you put, you know, the younger kids to bed or whatever you want to do, because it's an over-the-top, vulgar first-person shooter to say the least. Super fast-paced, super high-octane, and I really enjoyed my time with Bulletstorm. It's a super short game as well, so if you just want a game that you can complete over the course of a weekend or something like that, Bulletstorm is going to offer you exactly that. So for $4.49, pretty good pickup. Definitely wouldn't be spending anything more than that. And by the way, Bulletstorm was a PlayStation Plus title not too long ago, so check your library. You might already have it there. Next up, throwback here, Strider from Capcom, 80% off for $2.99, is available with PlayStation Plus Premium, not Extra, but Premium. Strider's a great game. It was also a PlayStation Plus freebie all the way back when it came out, I want to say in 2014, but solid action platformer here, definitely has some throwback elements to it, but visually looks great, and if you're a fan of action platformers, I think you'll enjoy Strider quite a bit. Has some challenging elements to it as well, but $3 I think is a great price, and definitely would give it a look there. Lastly, I do want to round out this video with some horror titles, so let's go through those. Amnesia, the collection, is 90% off for $2.99. Unfortunately, Frictional's other title in Soma just got pulled from Plus Extra, but Amnesia's still a good pickup here. This includes Amnesia, The Dark Descent, which is one of the most iconic horror games of all time. I really don't think it's a stretch in saying that. And then you also have Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, which isn't as good as The Dark Descent. I believe Machine for Pigs was done by a different studio. Nonetheless, Dark Descent, while it definitely shows its age, it's still a very, very iconic horror title. And I would say definitely give that a playthrough because, you know, it's one of those games that kind of got, even like streamers and whatnot, like it became a popular game in that aspect as well, but an incredibly engrossing horror title. I wouldn't say, you know, spend anything more than $3 on it, but here we got the collection for $3. It shows its age, but if you can get past that, I think you'll find quality for sure here. Next up, we gotta mention the Outlast games. Outlast 1 is $2.99. Outlast Bundle of Terror, that also includes Whistleblower on top of the first game, $4.34. Outlast 2 is $4.49. Probably the best route to go is picking up the Outlast Trinity. That's 90% off for $5.89. So that's a super steep discount, and you're getting all the Outlast content you could want. If you just want to pick up Outlast 1 as well, $3 for that isn't bad. Outlast 1 was super gruesome in terms of a horror game. Like, it was pretty out there, and definitely was a little bit of a shock. The shock factor got me with Outlast 1. That dissipated a little bit with Outlast 2, but still an incredibly atmospheric horror title, so definitely check that out. And then, yeah, I would probably just say get the Trinity collection. $5.89 for that is really good. Does slightly go over our $5 threshold, but definitely a solid pickup there. And then lastly, the Vanishing of Ethan Carter, that is 85% off for $2.99 as well. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into with this one. This is more of an atmospheric, narrative-driven title, but it's pretty good. Visually, it looks great. Like, I feel like this is one of the more underrated games for having a great visual and aesthetic style. It's not a super action-heavy game or anything like that, but it's going to offer you an engrossing narrative to sink your teeth into, and I think from that standpoint, it's done pretty darn well. It's got a pretty interesting mystery-driven narrative, and yeah, check it out if you want something that's, you know, story-heavy. I think you'll find something of quality with Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and only for $2.99, I think it's a good pickup. Like, that full price of $20, that's kind of high. Like, it's hard to sell me on, like, story-driven, light-on gameplay style games for, you know, that high of a price point, but, you know, sometimes the Walking Deads, Tales from the Borderlands just came out, but Vanishing of Ethan Carter at $3 I think is a great buy. Also available through Plus Extra. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, try to get through this pretty quickly. Got a lot of great deals. Links to everything, as always, will be in the description box below. Just to recap, MGS5, if you've never played that, or for whatever reason, maybe you had a physical copy and you want to rebuy that game, definitive experience, $4, just a disgustingly good deal. Strong recommendation there, and that game runs really well on PS4 as well, and PS5, of course. Shadow of Mordor, fantastic. Tomb Raider 2013, if you're getting into that franchise, that's great. Deus Ex, Dragon's Crown, Bulletstorm, some really good stuff here, so that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.